My name is Anjani Rathor, and I am representing Airtel Money here along with my colleague Guru Murthy. Airtel Money is actually an initiative to digitize cash. What it means is that we have today in our economy, most of the transactions are happening on cash, more than 90% of that based on the current estimates. Airtel Money is an initiative that is going to help digitize the cash which is moving in the economy, move it onto the phone in a digital form so that it can be used for transactions across the country. What we are doing as a part of this initiative is building an infrastructure. This infrastructure has got different components. The first one is a product. So we have created a couple of new products which are wallets. It is an express wallet, it is a power wallet, it is a super wallet. So there are different types and variants of products that we have created. Some of these products have been created purely as a Airtel Money subsidiary of Airtel under a license of RBI, and some of these products have been created in partnership with a bank. The second piece is we are setting up agent networks across the country. So as a telecom operator, we've got more than 1.5 million retail points across the country. Amongst those, we are choosing a set of retailers who are going to act as money agents or money depots for us. That's the agent network that is being built to service Airtel Money. The third piece is, and this is new, we are going to build a merchant network and a merchant ecosystem across the country. So once you digitize cash and put that on your mobile phone, what can you do with that cash? This is the back end. It offers multiple use cases that can be used with that money that is digitized. And lastly, on the access channel, as a telecom company, we have access to different ways and means to reach out to the customer. We are going to offer this service on not just smartphones through applications, but it will be available on the lowest handset, which is a feature phone, maybe a 500 rupee feature phone, through different channels. It includes USSD, a SIM toolkit, IVR, a J2ME app, or a WAP application which is there. So through a concerted effort around product, agent network, merchant and access channel, trying to ensure availability of this product, trying to ensure acceptability of this product and accessibility of this product 24/7 across the country. This is being built on an industrial grade platform. We have already launched this product in the market, and we are seeing very encouraging signs of customers and citizens adopting this service. This service is available in three simple steps. The first is you can get Airtel Money, and you can get it directly on your phone by dialing *400# if you are an Airtel subscriber. Then you can load money on Airtel Money, the wallet that you've opened, and loading money can happen in 2-3 different ways. Either you can do it through net banking or using your credit and debit cards, or you can load money by walking up to a retailer and giving hard cash to the retailer. Just like you buy your prepaid service or talk time by giving 200 rupees to a retailer and the retailer loads talk time on the phone, you can handle 500, 1000, 2000 rupee to the retailer, and he will instantly convert that into electronic money and give it to you on your mobile phones. Once the money is loaded, there are two things you can do with it. Either you can send that money to somebody else. This means you can send it to somebody on their mobile phone, or you can send it to somebody into a bank account. If you know a bank account number and IFSC code, you can instantly transfer that money. Or you can send it to somebody who can cash it out somewhere else. So a migrant who is living in Delhi can load money onto his mobile phone, transfer that same money into his wife's mobile phone in Bihar, who can walk up to a retail outlet and take cash out. So even you are not restricted by the constraints of having a bank branch or an ATM across all cities and all places. So that is the send part. You can spend that money as well. So if you want to pay your electricity bill, or you want to pay for some e-commerce transactions that you are doing on internet, or you want to pay for any over-the-counter merchant who's not near you but in a different city, you can pay for that. So these are the different use cases of the money that you put on your phone. And the different kinds of products that we have, one is an express account which you can open instantly on your mobile phone. The other one is a power account which requires you to submit a document with your photograph. Just like when you open a bank account, you are supposed to submit that to a retailer, and within a few days, approximately 7 days, we open that account on your mobile phone. And the third one is a super account which allows you, it is like a bank account on your phone. So when you load money, you also earn interest on that. So express and power account are primarily used for payment and transfer of money, but super account is a financial inclusion product. If you don't have a bank account and you save, say, 20 rupees or 10 rupees a day, you can keep loading it on your phone, and while it is on your phone, you are getting 4% or whatever is the bank rate at that point of time. So these are the three different products that we have and the use cases that we support. The new muscle that we are trying to build, and which has not been there as a telecom company with us, is the merchant proposition. We are trying to play on the convenience proposition. So anything which makes the life of a customer or a citizen convenient, we will enable that. For example, we have tied up with several aggregators or directly utility companies, so you don't have to queue up to pay your electricity bill or water bill. We have gone through aggregators. If you want to pay your EMI for a particular loan that you may have taken, you can just pay directly from your phone. If you want to book a movie ticket, you are able to do that on your phone. You don't need to access internet at that point of time. So this is playing on the convenience of a remote merchant setup that we are playing with. The second is on our marquee merchants. For example, Big Bazaar, Cafe Coffee Day. Some of these merchants, if you go there and want to pay with mobile money, you don't have your card or cash with you, you will be able to do some of these transactions on mobile money across the counter. Lastly, there are many retailers who are supporting this initiative by becoming money agents. These retailers also have the capability to accept this money in return for services that are being offered. So you want to charge your DTH TV, maybe it's Tata Sky, maybe it's Videocon, or maybe it's Airtel. You will be able to charge it instantly using your mobile phone. You want to charge your data card that you've got, you'll be able to do that. You want to charge not just Airtel phone but a Reliance phone, you'll be able to do that, because this is a payment service. It just connects through the payment systems and you are able to pay with this money to anyone. Are we there completely in terms of having cracked the entire code? We've done a national launch. It's available across the country. About 950 cities we are today present in. Customer pull is not fully there. It takes some time for customers to adopt this service, understand about it. It will take some degree of category creation. We will need to educate customers how to use this, especially the ones who do not have access to financial services across the country. And lastly, the merchant pull. A lot of merchants are still not available on mobile money. For example, if you want to buy a flight ticket instantly, there are some merchants who are available, but not all. There are some airlines which could be made available on this, but we have to create that merchant pool so that anything that you can think of where payment can be made, you should be able to pay for that. So this is a very simple service. It's built on the principle of building an incremental business. As a telecom company, over the last 15-20 years, we have built a couple of capabilities in our country which did not exist earlier. One, we have connected the citizens of this country. This means anywhere you are covered under a digital signal. You can make a phone call. If you can make a phone call, you can do this transaction. You don't need a data service. The second important piece is we have set up a distribution network across the country which is really deep. Just Airtel alone has more than 1.5 million retail points of presence. If I put all the telecom companies together, it will definitely exceed more than 3.5 million points of presence across the country. Compare this with a bank branch network, it is less than 100,000. So the presence and the reach is significantly higher. And the good thing is that this distribution network is a smart distribution network. What I mean by that is In this distribution network, you can move a KYC document. Today, when you buy a mobile service from any retailer, he makes you fill up a form, put a photograph, sign across. So he is moving a KYC document back. At the same time, this same retailer also moves cash into that pipe. So the cash that you give to buy talk time actually moves from a retailer to a distributor to the company. And a banking system does exactly that. It moves cash and it moves KYC document. So to a large extent, what capability has been built across the country can be leveraged to give financial inclusion for citizens in this country. The two other service which did not exist earlier and now exists because of telecom is industrial grade customer service. Today, as telecom operators, Airtel receives more than 100 million calls on its call centers every month. If we want to offer this kind of a service, we should expect a lot of people will be calling for different kinds of services. Providing customer service at that scale is a big challenge, but that has been cracked because of telecom. So we are able to offer that kind of service to customers. And lastly, transaction processing on a micro scale. So we on a monthly or on daily basis, there are about more than 2 billion minutes of call which is made on our network. This means so many billing instructions. Each of those is for quantifies till a last penny. So we have the ability to create a transaction platform where micro transactions can be managed on a very large scale and very fast. These capabilities all put together aligns a company like Airtel to offer this service in the market in a very competitive manner and a sustainable manner. If this is to be replicated by some other organizations, telecom companies will surely be able to do it, but it may be hard for others who do not have this kind of network to do it on a sustainable basis. So this is one of the key planks which has been used to offer this service. Incremental business, we do not build anything from scratch which does not exist apart from some of the technological changes that have been done. There is a good uptake, very encouraging response from the citizens. We believe that this is the way to go. It will grow very fast. Our customer service, which I spoke of, is also available on self-care. A lot of the things that you want to check your balance, those things you can do it on your own through USSD, or you can dial on an IVR network and get to know what is your balance. You want to do some transactions, you can do that as well. You can go to a website. If you are a very tech-savvy person, you can go to a website or download an app to do that. And obviously, you can send an email or a phone call. What we have built across the country today is one of the lowest cost money transfer infrastructure. So you can transfer money to from Mumbai to Bihar or from Delhi to UP. It is possible and at a very competitive rate. You want to do the same thing, possibly a post office would come the nearest in terms of doing that kind of a money order. The post office is not instant and not as competitive as this service is. We already have more than 300 million Aadhaar card users, so it is possible to connect and ensure that financial connectivity and inclusion comes to those people who have some kind of an identity. Just on Airtel, we have more than about 200 million customers. It is possible that all those customers could get this service immediately. So it is a big plus in terms of having a sustainable pool of customers who can help sustain this service on a longer term basis. And lastly, just imagine the power of this service. If 50 million people save each day a little bit of money, it is very much possible to raise more than 5 billion balances as we go forward. And this would take a lot of time for any bank to do this kind of work. So we believe this is a service which is good for the country, good for the company, and good for the citizens. Thank you. This money cannot be hacked. It's very safe. You load it on the phone, but money is in the cloud. It is protected by a PIN which you know. So even if you lose your phone, your money is safe. So it's a good breakup of a mix of use cases. A lot of customers are using for sending money, whether into a bank account or for cash out purposes. A lot of them are using, especially in the cities. If you look at the pyramid, the top of the pyramid is using for making payments, where convenience is the use case. The bottom of the pyramid is using it for transferring money because they don't have access to organized channels to transfer money.
How much is the charge for like low 2,000 rupees into it?
Yeah.
Spend?
Yeah.
How much do you charge for that?
So it's a at par product. If you give 1,000 rupees to the retailer, he will load 1,000 on your phone. As a bank account or a prepaid card, you won't expect only 97 to go. You've given 100. The model is that when you make payment, typically the recipient in a payment case, just like in case of a card, would pay an MSF or a MDR. In this case also, the recipient of the service would typically pay for that.
And you know what happens is when the balance of the phone comes less, then what happens is they can't make any calls and they can only receive and the balance is very low. So what is the stipulation here? Supposing I loaded 2,000 rupees and my balance has come down to a certain amount, can it go to zero balance and I can still do payment?
So here the difference is this. In case of a telco wallet, it is depleting because you are talking, you are using data service. This is not a telco wallet. This is a wallet which is, your own money. It cannot deplete unless you are using it. And once it's like a prepaid card. If you've loaded 100 rupees, you have the ability to pay up to 100 rupees. We do not provide credit on that. Like if you've gone down, you can't pay for that. We are not a bank.
Yeah.
It involves the communication transaction.
Yeah.
So if your net balance on communication is zero, the SIM is not usable, the phone is not usable, hence the transaction is not usable.
Yeah. So you need to have a valid working phone on which you have some balance to do the transaction. If you don't have it, and suppose your Airtel phone goes down for any reason, you still want to access your wallet, it is possible for you to call up an IVR and do that same transaction because IVR will also accept a phone. But you will need a valid phone to do a transaction.
Would a transaction consume my talk time or would it
No.
be sending an SMS or something?
No, if you are using USSD as a channel, it will not. If you are calling a toll-free number, it will not. But if you are using an app, a data service, then whatever data consumption plan you would have taken. If you are using USSD as an access channel, like the star 400 hash, it does not deplete your talk time balance at all.
I don't know, my gut feeling, data security appears to be a bit of your emails are hacked, your bank accounts are hacked. It probably would be much easier to hack this or anybody's account and siphon off money.
So we are bringing to bear all the capabilities and the experiences that we've had around data security. We haven't had instances so far. It has been a national launch for some time. We did a pilot for quite some time of security breach on this system. We are hopeful that the security nature that we put in here is good.
So, but even Facebook and Google and Yahoo, the email accounts have been hacked in spite of the best of brains available with them for data security. So maybe not now, but once the usage becomes prevalent, this trend will always.
So we would also keep upping our ante as we move forward to be one step ahead of.
Another thing, there are certain constraints or restrictions imposed by the Reserve Bank on money transfer, just to keep an eye on the inflow of money to terrorists and things like that. I wonder if the Reserve Bank has put any such constraints on you.
So the service that we have brought into the market is under the Aegis of a subsidiary of Airtel, which is Airtel Money. This has got a license from RBI to offer. So we comply to all RBI guidelines and regulations. So we are like any other entity that RBI monitors.
We perceive that one day the money order, the thing would become redundant.
Well, I think even post offices and other forms of money transfer will evolve. They are not going to stay as it is. Maybe they will leverage the same technology to move money. So these are new and different payment mechanisms that are evolving, and all the participants in the ecosystem will evolve.
What happens to pockets where Airtel coverage is not there?
Well, if the phone is not working without the coverage, this service will not be available. But I can tell you, with last 20 years being in the market, the largest telecom operator, there are very few places in our country where the signal may not be available to make a phone call. So this service should be available primarily covering, barring some of the border areas where we can't put up towers and all those. Otherwise,
Travel to Airtel, I've been traveling all over India. There are visible pockets where coverages are not there, where people live, the remote villages. Anyway.
yeah, but I take your point. It's about there are areas where it may not be fully there. Yeah, so that's another access channel. We've seen that when we go across the counter, you want to make purchases for, say, a shopping that you're doing, and you have 5 people standing behind you. USSD or app is a more time-consuming channel. NFC will come, but we want to bring it at a price point where it is adopted in this market. India is a very competitive market, as we find today. This channel has not evolved to the competitiveness of the price point which we are looking for.